days after the onslaught of Cyclone Nargis, officials fear the death toll could exceed 100,000. The question is, how many of those lives were lost to a random act of nature, and how many to the stubborn act of government? The unfolding humanitarian catastrophe in Myanmar is growing more dire by the day. Incredibly, in the face of worldwide outrage and disbelief, the military regime has refused nearly every offer of help, leaving tens of thousands of victims to fend for themselves. A full week after the cyclone hit, we flew over the Thai-Myanmar border. This is as close as most aid has gotten to entering the country.
If we miss the chance to get this aid out now, it's clear that it could be a major secondary disaster and that it could be as significant as the initial cyclone.
There are corpses lying around, there is no clean water, there are children who aren't eating properly, risk of diarrhea, waterborne diseases. Of course that's happening.
What has made all of this even more tragic is that the people in the disaster area are some of the poorest in the world, scraping by on just 65 cents a day in the best of times, and uniquely ill-suited to deal with the worst.
Most people live in small wooden houses or even grass and thatch huts. Many people live very close to the sea. It's an area with almost no emergency services or social services that could react quickly if a storm was coming.
And Myanmar's military leaders seem intent mostly on maintaining their power and enforcing it, refusing to issue visas to aid workers lined up at the border. Just today, they turned away a plane loaded with supplies because a search and rescue team on board did not have permission to enter. The question is, why?
This is a government that has always followed a zero-risk policy in terms of regime security, or what they see as national security. And so if they view something as a potential risk to them from any quarter, but especially from the Western governments that they distrust, their instinct is to back away.
Here at Mae Sot, a main border crossing between Thailand and Burma, the streets were eerily empty today. There should have been lines of aid trucks rumbling through here. Instead, just a few people trickle across carrying basic supplies, none destined for the disaster area. At the tiny airfield a short distance away, we were surprised to come across a group of U.S. Marines surveying conditions for a possible relief effort, even though as yet the U.S. has been denied access to enter Myanmar.
Just landed 20-30 minutes ago, just trying to make some liaison, see if we can get up in the tower, talk to them, see what their procedures are, what kind of services they have at the airfield. The Marine Corps would like to be prepared for any contingency should any mission come down.
There was word late today that Myanmar may finally be willing to accept some aid from the United States, a single plane load of supplies, but not for 2 more days. So little and perhaps too late. A week after the cyclone hit, time is quickly running out for more than 1 million people still in the disaster zone.
With each passing day, the situation of the survivors gets worse. They're human beings just over the border who've lost everything and are in desperate need of being given everything now, and they're not getting that assistance. And it's just an unacceptable situation. The international aid community needs access to those people and needs it yesterday.
And we'll be right back.